For the first time on camera, we are hearing from one of the victims who received an IV bag described by prosecutors as a poison bomb. During the trial, we learned Jack Adlerstein almost died from the bag secretly filled with dangerous drugs by Dr. Raynaldo Ortiz. He and his father spoke exclusively with Fox 4's Lori Brown, and she joins us live in Dallas. Lori.
Clarice, Jack Adlerstein is young and full of life, so it is hard to believe how close he came to almost losing his life. During the trial, his doctors testified that his heart stopped beating on the operating table.
Jack Adlerstein told us how trying out his friend's dirt bike ended poorly with a minor injury to his nose.
After that, my nose was very crooked. I didn't really care so much about it. My mom really cared. I guess I couldn't breathe out of one nostril, but I don't know. It's not as bad as it seems.
Adlerstein, 18 years old at the time, decided to follow his mom's advice and went in for surgery at the Baylor Scott & White Surgicare in North Dallas, August 24th, 2022. What he and his dad, Dovie Adlerstein, did not know is the day before Jack's surgery, Dr. Raynaldo Ortiz, an anesthesiologist they did not know, was later caught on camera secretly filling up large syringes of different types of drugs and putting them in his pocket.
I thought you could just end the case then.
That was almost certainly the syringe that went in the bag that ended up in your arm.
Jack's simple procedure suddenly took a turn. His surgeon and anesthesiologist testified they frantically tried to figure out why his heart rate skyrocketed to 250 over 150, numbers his doctor testified he'd never seen before. He also had fluid in his lungs, and at one point, doctors could no longer feel his pulse. Turns out another doctor, Chad Marsden, had something similar happen to his patient days earlier. He came by the Surgicare to look at records when he saw the commotion with Jack.
The providence that was involved in his showing up at the time that he did and being able to go over to Dr. Hussein and say, I think it's the bag, change the bag, is probably what saved Jack's life.
There's not really like worse things that would really saved your life.
But even after Jack's condition stabilized, his recovery from the ordeal took time.
The next 24 hours were really hard for me.
And then there was this moment.
They gave me a cup of water, and I was holding the cup of water, and then they took it away, and I wasn't able to move my hand for like hours. I was really frozen.
We were told that there was a real fear that there might be lasting neurological damage.
Thankfully, Jack fully recovered. Dovie Adlerstein says it's unclear what could have happened without Dr. Marsden.
He's the reason we have this guy around, and most days we're rather fond of him. So we're forever in his debt. That's I mean, all of his doctors really.
And as for Dr. Ortiz,
Jack is, as far as we can tell, doesn't really have, we hope doesn't have long-lasting effects, but some of the other victims do. This has changed their lives, and in Dr. Kaspar's case, it's ended her life. I hope he can comprehend the magnitude of what he did, and he can spend the rest of his life marinating in it.
Friday, a jury found Dr. Ortiz guilty of all 10 counts against him. He faces a potential sentence of 190 years in federal prison. A judge will determine his sentence in about 2 to 3 months.